Hi everyone, I am going to show you how to add an event on spegcs.org. The first thing you have to do is make sure you are logged into the website and have the appropriate permissions. Most people who are on a committee will be enabled the permissions of editing an event. If not, email webmaster@spegcs.org and Lindsay Newsom will be happy to assist you with updating your permissions so that you can edit an event or add an event. So first what we're going to do is make sure you're logged in. If you are, then you'll see your name in the top left-hand corner. Then you'll click Event and News. Now you'll see that there is an event drop-down list on the top left-hand side. Once you do that, you can click on that and go to Event Templates. Now this is different than the old site. We have set it up so it is super easy for everyone to create an event. If you have a regular paid meeting, you would click Add an Event using this template under Basic Meeting. If you have just RSVP only, it's an unpaid event, you would click Add an Event and using this template under RSVP only. For now, let's talk about paid events because that's what most of you are going to be adding. You'll change the title. So we'll change that to SPE GCS Kickoff Party. Here, under the description, you'll put in whatever text you would like. You can add an image, you can link things. It's whatever text description you would like to do. You can add a bulleted list, a numbered list, change the format of this to a different header, whatever you would like to do. Okay. Then you will alter the start date and time so that it shows up. When you click on this, the menu or the calendar, the calendar will show up and you can select a different calendar time. So let's put this as August 29th at 11:30, and then you have to change the end date and time or it will kick back an error message with you. So we have it from 11:30 to 1. Most of you have luncheons that are from 11:30 to 1, so this should make it super easy for you to only have to change the date. Keep it as US Central in the time zone unless you decide to take this somewhere other than the Gulf Coast section. Priority, if you check the box for priority, it'll show up on the top of the calendar. If you look at calendar view, we allow three events per day. It is all in chronological order, but if for some reason your event is really big and you need it to be prioritized over any other events, you would check this box for priority. Now, another new feature is type. We allow people to select it based on whether it is a training, an internal event, which means like a board meeting or a committee meeting or something that has nothing to do with any outside members outside of your committee or study groups. Social networking, any of your happy hours will be this one, or if you are doing volunteer work or any kind of social events, you would click social networking. Luncheons and webinars are the basics, and then conferences and symposiums, if you have your one-day conference or symposium, you would select that one. Make sure you check public can view. If you do not check this box, it will not show up on the calendar, and when people go to link to it, they're not going to be able to see your information. Right now, you can change it. In order for everything to show up on the site, it needs to stay active. If for some reason you've duplicated something, take it to inactive. If you create an event and you want somebody else on your team to review it prior to it going active, you can select pending and that other person on your team can review it prior to it going live. Keep display event registrants to everyone. Then you'll click Save and Continue Editing. From there, it'll take you to the location. This is all very similar to our old website. You can bypass all of this information and go straight to place. And if you start typing in the name of the place, say it's the Petroleum Club, I started typing PETR, and it took me straight to Petroleum Club. So then you can select it, and all of your fields are auto-filled. If you are at Reserve 101, let's say, then you change it, all of these things are updated, and then you can save and continue editing. The organizer, whoever is organizing it, make sure you put your name, and here you can put your email address or your phone number. That way people can get a hold of you if they have any questions. Click Save and Continue Editing. Very important about Save and Continue Editing, if you don't click it after each tab, it's going to erase any of the work that you've done on that existing tab or previous tab. Okay, so then speakers. Put in the speaker name. You would look for their image if you have it. If you don't, that's fine too. Let me see if I can navigate to some images just for kicks. Sorry guys, we're gonna use these guys as a guinea pig. So you would find this from your desktop. It's not gonna be in, it's not gonna link to the website database. You will want to select featured to make sure that all speakers are featured on the event, and then you will put their biography, short biography here. Otherwise it's gonna take up the whole page. If you have multiple speakers, go down here. Once you're finished with this person, you will add speaker and another field will show up. You can do the same thing. You can add as many speakers as you would like. If you screw up, you can click delete speaker and it'll go away. Let me take this off right now. Click Save and Continue Editing. All right, now we're on the registration. So here is where you need to, if you are ready to start accepting registrations, click Enable Registration. The limit, if you only have 70 seats or 50 seats at your event, change that to 50. If there's an unlimited number of seats, you can leave it at 0. Payment method, always leave credit card online. Do not select any of the other stuff. Payment is required. Even if it's, since this one is not the RSVP, but this is the paid registration, you will click Payment Required. Always select discount eligible. That way we can capture the $5 that goes towards the Scholarship Endowment Fund. If you'd like to publicly show your registration stats, so it'll say, you know, 30 of 50 seats available, then people know how many seats are left, and it kind of incites a sense of urgency if there's only a couple seats left and you're just so close to getting to your goal. We do offer custom registration forms. You will have to email the webmaster, Lindsay Newsom at webmaster@spegcs.org, and she can set up a custom registration form. Most of the people that are asking for those are, you know, the sporting clays, tennis, golf, any of those types of one-day symposiums where you're asking for specific stuff like food preferences or any kind of personal details that you would need from the registrants. We have it set up so that an automated email goes out. This represents 1 week ahead and 1 day ahead of your event. It's a basic email. If you want to edit it, you can click here and click Edit Reminder Email and add in more details. So if you have specifics about parking, if they're going to need to pay for something or have to valet, whatever it is, you can edit it and specify it on the email reminder so people know ahead of time before they actually arrive at your event. Then you click Continue, Save and Continue Editing, and you're on the last page, which is pricing. The board has set a standard for pricing going forward. All MIT student retired are $20, non-member is $55, and member is $45. This takes into account if people are going to donate to the Scholarship Endowment Fund. These are standard. You can raise the price if you need to cover your cost of your venue or your event. but we ask that you don't reduce the cost lower to that, because we have set a standard. Everybody's going to follow it unless it's a symposium, a continuing ed, or something that's very specific. But basic luncheons are going to be at this pricing. When you set up your pricing, we have added a wonderful feature of a registration limit. So say you have MIT, but you don't want 500 people registering for MIT because it's a reduced cost. You can set the limit to, say you want to set the limit to only 10 people or only 5 people can register. Then you would change this number to whatever the maximum number of registrants are allowed for that pricing. You would want the payment to be required, so people are required to make an online payment. And then depending on when you want to start accepting payments and start accepting registrations, you'll edit the date and time accordingly. Most people stop accepting payment 5 p.m. the night before their event. You can change it depending on whatever your study group or committee chooses. You can edit that however you want. Just make sure you put the correct end date and time. We've already set up all of the pricing, so you don't have to edit any of these checkboxes. You can change the position. So if you want MIT to show up 3rd, you would change that to 3. If you want non-member to show up 2, you would change that to 2. And if you want member to show up 1, you would change that to 1. Once you're happy with all of your pricing and the way that it's set up, you would click Save Changes, and it would add your event to the calendar. Since I'm doing a dummy event right now, I'm not going to save changes. But once you do have your event, it'll show up on the calendar, and I'll show you right now where it's going to show up. You click Events, just say we did a luncheon. And we'll pick on HSSC SR. So then your event will show up like this. You can go in, you can edit however you want by going down to Options, Edit, and then it'll take you into something that looks very similar to the template that we just set up. So again, if you want to create a new event, go to Event Templates and click Add an Event using this template. If you want to do RSVP only, you can click on the Add an Event using this template under RSVP only. And the only thing that's going to change is it will eliminate the last tab that has all of the pricing on there, because it's free and all you're doing is taking a head count, basically. You're not going to take any money. So it automatically eliminates you having to deal with figuring out how to not accept money for your event. And that is how you set up your event.